Hey, here we are. Back in the place. Back in the place. In the home, as we like to call it. Yeah, in the home. It sounds like an old person. There we go. A little bit. A little bit better there. So, hey. Here we go. I am making a plan. Good morning, Cheryl. Nice to see you. I was just, this is so fun. I don't know if you can see this, but I was changing, and this might be a thing too. I'll probably repeat it, Cheryl, since it's just you and me right now. But I am still on. Oh, Laura Voorhees. Okay, I'll wait for some people to show up. I am still on a Palm Springs high, but equally as awesome is I'm glad to be home. Hey, Penny Myers, nice to see you. As you may notice behind me over here, there's still some boxes. Right? There's still some stuff. Actually, what's funny is that right there is a pool view from Palm Springs when I was there. I got to remember what year because we have gone there so often. And yeah, Laura V. It's Wonderful Wednesday. I love it, Kim. I would totally agree that there's nothing better than, I'm sure there is. We could debate that. One thing that's really good, how's that, is to go on vacation. Hey, Carla Jane. I'm so glad you're at the neurologist. I hope you're doing great, hon. Coming back, even our house is a mess. I'm not going to lie. I came back and I kind of forgot. I even said that to my husband. I kind of forgot when I walked in last night that he had shown me pictures of the basement being empty. Hey, Christine and Shannon. And he had shown me pictures of the empty basement. And my brain did not remember that all the stuff from the basement is all around the house. So that's why we've got stuff hanging around here. But yeah, this was kind of fun. I will offer this as an idea for you guys because I was doing it myself. Using the, what do you call this? Like the screen on your phone, like the picture you put there. Put something there that's aspirational that you want to do. Now, here I will offer to you is just from my own stuff, wallpaper. Thank you, Christine. Yeah, the wallpaper. Because you look at it all the time and you're like, oh, that's right. I want that. Oh, that's right. I'm going to make that happen. Instead of I want that, I'm going to make that happen. Doesn't that sound better? And I will share with you that I had a picture that I drove around my last day in Palm Springs. I drove around and I was specifically looking for an image that to me would capture Palm Springs so that I could put it on my wallpaper. And I did that. And then I realized that it wasn't specific enough. You guys, I am telling you, the more I coach and the more I do these things, a category is fine. I'd rather say, as opposed to I just want to go on vacation, saying I want to go on vacation to Palm Springs is more specific, but then even more so, what neighborhood? What do you want the house to look like? Do you want it to be near anything? Do you want it to be far away from anything? Do you want it to be windy? Do you want it to not be windy? So all of these things make it more specific. So I'm just sharing this with you because what I realized in coming home and settling down and getting some perspective, first of all, hell yeah, we're going back. We're going back. There's absolutely no question in my mind that my husband and I and other people I'm sure that we know will return to Palm Springs again and again until we don't. But getting more specific about where you want to stay helps you get it. So I switched up. I was just switching up the wallpaper on my phone to more accurately reflect the neighborhood that I want us to stay in next time. So that every time, and so what I did too was I just went onto Verbo and I started favoriting the places in that neighborhood because I realized staying there for a while what is important to me. And the thing that cracks me up is a lot of what was important to me that I would want if I was living in Palm Springs, even just for a week or two or a month, are the things that are important to me at home. A house that's cute and mid-century-ish and looks tidy. I can walk to places. The sun comes in. So I just offer this to you as an idea. What's on your wallpaper? You may have people you love, and it ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you are aspiring to something, I don't know, pick out a cool picture. And this is a picture that I took when I was walking around that neighborhood. And I said, that's going to be perfect for me. So next year, when my husband and I are renting a place for a month in that neighborhood, you would have heard it first that this is me planting the seed in my own head and doing things to water it. Okay? Now, that's enough about me. I want to throw it all on over to you, but I just want to share because that's seriously what I was working on. Okay? Laura is saying, I have 4 days of home, not home. And this morning I worked to tidy up. So when I do get home from judging music performances, I will enter a calm space. Notice it's important for you to have a calm space. Anybody else? Anybody else? Hands? You know, I want a calm space. That's one of the reasons. Honestly, right now, you rarely see me on a YouTube live or a TikTok live using my earbuds. These are noise canceling earbuds, earphones, whatever. It's because the guys are working in the basement. I get distracted. I cannot concentrate as easy if I don't have a calm environment. Now, sometimes the basement is quiet, but temporarily it is noisy because we're getting the basement improved. So what can I do to calm my calm space? I create a calm space for me right here. Boop, 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 boop. So I ask you right now where you are. Now I know Carla's at the doctor. Awesome for Carla for going to the doctor. Love it. All of you are in different places. How are you feeling physically? Let's even just start physically, because that's usually you can identify to what you have an ache or a pain or whatever. You feeling okay? No, I'm doing kind of the top to bottom, like the quick scan. And for the most part, I'm feeling pretty good. A little bit tired, not going to lie. So physically, I'm doing okay. Just took a shower, yada, yada. No headache, no rumbly tumbly. So I'm good. If I don't have a headache or a rumbly tumbly, I'm doing all right. Nervous system wise, nervous system, check. Now I was getting distracted by the guys in the thing. So I put in earphones. Makes it quieter for me. I can concentrate for you. Yeah. So what can you do to make your nervous system feel better right now if it's a bit out of whack? Can you calm it down? How about audio? Can you quiet down where you are? Or on the flip side, do you want to open up the windows and hear the birds chirping? I got a comment from Judy Dukes on one of my recorded YouTube lives about loving hearing the birds on the outside. I am loving that I came home and I can open up the windows. Now, when you open up the windows, all the noises come in. So it could be the barking dog across the street, could be the guys outside mixing up the cement, could be the birds. So you can choose that. But also the feeling of having the windows open makes me feel good. Now, I love this. Laura says, when things are put away, my brain isn't instantly thinking about having to do it. It's just a happy place. So notice 2 things about that. Well, a number of things. One is when you have a happy space equals, it's almost like like doing a math problem. Happy space equals when things are put away. Instant happy space. So Laura knows what to do to get her space feeling happier. Are there some things that are out that can be put away? Now, put away infers that there is a home for that item. So putting things away, not just shoving them, not pitching and ditching. No. Putting things away either where they're supposed to be in their home or putting them closer to that home. All right. Robin is also offering a calm space is crucial. Crucial. Not nice to have, must have. Crucial for my mental health and physical well-being. And I love that you say the decluttering has changed my life completely, because that's exactly why I show up again and again and again and again, do it again and again and again and again. Because this isn't just about how your house looks. It's about the vibe. And you know what the vibration is? It's in you. You've got the vibes. How do you feel in your home? So it's not just about your home looking good to other people. It's how you feel in general, and more specifically, how you feel when you're in your home. Now, this is great. Cheryl Siegel is off work today, so she has time. Taking time to invest your time. Investing your time in decluttering is a true investment. You will gain a reward. It's like investing your money. Well, I'd say in the stock market, but we're not going to go there. But let's say an investment. Let's say you put it in a interest bearing high yield savings account that is not affected by the outside world. You put your money there, it makes money. You keep your money in under the mattress, it doesn't make any money. So investing your time in decluttering will give you that happy space, that calm space. Happy and calm. Who the F doesn't want to be happy and calm? Now, Cheryl's going about it her way, using her time off from work today. Not all of it. Hopefully, she's going to have some fun, but also off work today. So cleaning out the outside freezer, opening up the outside freezer, dumping anything old and not tasty, and reorganizing. Now, organizing to me means making things easier to find, easier to use, easier to put them away. If I were to think of, we've got stored clutter, surface clutter, sentimental, but we also have, crap, I forget my own stuff. Hold on. Let me think about this. How does it look? That's the other 3 thing that I was thinking of, because 3 is a magic number. Yes, it is. Hello, McDougs, and yay, let's encourage Cheryl to get the thing done. 3 things. How does it look is a percentage of that, is a piece of the pie. How it functions, how does it function, is organizing, making it easier for you to easily access the stuff you use more frequently, making it slightly more difficult to use the things you use less frequently, so they're just not in your way on the everyday basis. Thank you. Surface stored, sentimental. And how does it look is kind of the surface. You know, like when you meet people, superficially, they may look cute, but then you go a layer deeper and you realize that they're not as cute. They could turn cuter when you get to know them and realize what a good person they are underneath. Or you realize if they're kind of a jerk, they become less cute. I'm just using cute because I think my husband's cute. And then down below is how you feel, and also sentimental clutter. So I have in my brain, the way my coaching brain folder is organized, is there's a couple of like layers of 3. So how you feel in your home is the most important one, but how you get there can also be starting with the surface clutter, getting stuff organized. And part of the organizing is saying to yourself, do I want this or not? Can I live without this? If I haven't eaten that mystery meat in the freezer that has the label on it, because I would assume if you freeze stuff, it might have a date that you wrote on it. Or if it's like a prepackaged thing, it might have like a fresh best if used by date on it, you know? Now I love this. So Sue is noticing surface is my constant, as it is for most of us. It really is. I would be lying to you. There's no real one and done in decluttering. There isn't, except for if you have one of those living rooms that you literally have like the plastic couch, covers, and you've got like a velvet rope and nobody goes in there and lives there. If you live in your home, you bring things in, they sit there, you use some of them, you don't use all of them. You bring things in, you make something and you spill a little bit of stuff on the counter, and either you wipe it up immediately or you don't. I am calling myself out on all of these things, So surface is this is a great thing, because Sue is saying surface is my constant. So this is what she did. She added a daily 5-minute tidy up to her habit tracker. Now you'll see me looking around right now, because I know my habit tracker is around here somewhere, because I was using it in Palm Springs and it really helped. But I haven't fully unpacked yet. But notice a 5-minute tidy up every day adds up, and it stops things from piling up. Imagine things piling up. You don't do it that day, the next day, the next day, the next day. If you don't do anything, the pile just gets bigger. I remember talking to a friend who turned into a one-on-one client. And I remember her saying, oh, I just hate that, like, there's these tasks that are never done. Like, there's always dishes that have to be done. There's always laundry. There's always surfaces. And I offered to her, which I offered to you, is this. You're right. they will probably always need to be done unless somebody else does it for you. And still, it has to be done. It's just somebody else doing it. But what I want to offer to you is, instead of hating that, instead of bringing the hate into your life every day, just neutralize it. I'm not saying you have to go from, there's a thin line between love and hate. It's actually, I say there's a rainbow. There's fear and hate, and then there's love. I am not suggesting that you fall in love with doing the dishes or laundry or cleaning surfaces. I don't love it. I tolerate it. I'm neutral about it. I do not let the everyday tasks of decluttering my surfaces harsh my mellow, upset my vibe. I just refuse to engage with the drama, and I just do the stuff. There is such power in not engaging in the drama in your house, in your brain, surface clutter, and outside of your house with the White House and all of that stuff that's going on with your neighbors, with the town you live in. Drama to me, unless it is truly justified and getting involved with it and letting it affect you, will lead to a greater good than you currently have right now. A lot of drama is just to stir the pot and to drain you of your energy. So notice that when you hate the laundry, I hate, anybody get any hates? Put the thing that you say you hate in the comments, the part of decluttering. And let's practice kind of turning down the volume on that. Let's practice, instead of it being a Technicolor 3D movie of all the ways you hate doing it, maybe you're like, you know what, that's just a black and white movie from back in the day. I used to hate it. Now it's just something I just try not to use it. There we go. I love McDoug says no hate for me. Yeah. I even try to pay attention. I have practiced watching what I say so much in these past 5 or so years that I really pay attention to when I use the word hate, and I try to substitute it. You've probably seen it in some of my videos. I use the word love so much more than I use the word hate. So when I get hatey, I get curious about it. But notice if there are certain tasks that you say you hate, just say this, that there is a spectrum of, there's a rainbow of tasks. Some of them, or you know what I mean? You have like what was that? Like the VU meter. There are some tasks that you like to do better than others. There are certain tasks that my husband likes to do more than I do. So funny, because I was just thinking of cooking. He likes to cook. I don't like to cook, but all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of hungry. I love this. Notice how I've said be aware of what you hate to do, that Laura said I'm not fond of. Notice the difference between hating somebody and hating something and being not fond of. I am not fond of cleaning silverware and plastic containers, but I enjoy how peaceful the kitchen sink area looks when they are done. So I will share with you, speaking of cleaning silverware and plastic containers, I am not a big fan of doing some of that too. I will admit to you that I have a hard stop with the following item in the kitchen sink, mainly because I never use it and mainly because it grosses me out and I didn't use the food. So a spatula, I'm getting so specific, a spatula with egg residue on it, no. That's my husband. I will do many other dishes, but I will leave that for him. I also, even I don't know what it is about the texture of egg yolk, maybe, because I think about it like a spoon or a fork that has something like oatmeal or something sticky. So what I do is I tend to like soak those things so it's not as difficult to scrape stuff off. And I do enjoy it when the sink is empty. And I do enjoy it when kind of doing a before and after. This piece of silverware is crappy looking and now it looks better. Yeah. And see, she says, heck no, scrub the heck out of that spatula to get the ick off of it. Nope. I leave that for him. and he knows it. We've been very clear about that because there are other things that he doesn't clean up that I don't mind cleaning up. So we have it, but I'm just offering to you as a person. There are certain things that I am less fond of when I do the dishes. Anybody, when you're decluttering or doing the dishes, do you pick the ones that you don't mind doing the first and you leave the ones that you don't care for the last? You save the best for last, or maybe save the worst for last. But just notice surface clutter, an everyday thing, because you clutter up your house, or somebody else does, but if they do it, make them clean up after themselves. But notice 5 minutes of your on your habit tracker, and that will help. So you're not piling up things, that you're investing your time. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Laura Voorhees says, the dishes have been relegated to me because the boys don't get them clean enough. You want to know how to get somebody else to do a job for you? You do a shitty job at it. And then they say, fine, give me that. That was my mother. But in the meantime, guess who's not doing the dishes? Now, here's where my brain goes to. So I will offer to you, just want to say this, if you live with other people and you have a certain expectation, a level of expectation meets minimum standards, kind of think about this as a job, a work life, a corporate life, a working with others in a paid environment example. There is a certain level that you have set of, this is where the dishes are clean enough. And notice I say the dishes, but the level is going to be different for dishware, for plates is one thing, glasses is another thing, silverware is another thing, plastic is another thing. I highly recommend to you, share your expectations of what a well-cleaned plastic tub is. Show them that, because you're doing that to yourself. You are comparing in your head the optimal clean thing that if you did it, it would be this clean, but they are not meeting expectations. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't know your expectations. Maybe they don't know how to get there. Think of them as somebody you're training for a job. Can you imagine going into a workplace, and somebody saying, don't do that because you don't do a good enough job, but they never really told you what the good enough job was? Now, maybe you've done that, but also notice, if people do a shitty job, then they don't have to do the dishes. Anybody else work with live with other people? Yeah, you do a crappy job at something and it might get you off the hook if the other person's like, you don't do it, I'll do that because you do it wrong. Guess what they're doing when you're doing the dishes? They're sitting there eating popcorn. Now, I am making up stories left and right because I don't know your boys and I don't know your dynamic. But we all know there's a grain of truth in this. And the best thing you can do is, instead of being aggravated by the other person because they're not doing it to your expectations, indicate to them what your expectation is. Now, I may sound micromanagey, but I am telling you, when they know it and they do it, it just makes things peaceful for everybody. They're folding the towels the right way, the way you want to do it. They are cleaning, wiping down the faucet and sink in the bathroom after they wash their hands. They're wiping it down and things like that. Because if you do not communicate what you want, you will not get it. It will be a fluke if you get it. But if you know what you want and you are specific about it, like the specific place you want to rent in Palm Springs next year for February of 2026, yeah. If you're not specific and you don't tell it to anybody else who can help you get there, it's going to be so much harder to get there. It really is. And when you can, maybe I'm lucky. I don't think I think I may be lucky. I will admit that when I say to my husband, hey, I know you don't care about this, but I do. I call me crazy, but there's a certain way that I like the bath towels to be folded. Now, if you're doing the laundry, you have to fold them anyway. So instead of just doing it any old way, how about long way first, half and half? And then when we pile them, and again, I sound kind of micromanaging, but I pile them because then they fit better on the shelves. And I show why I do them. And sometimes my why is I don't know why. It just makes me feel better when they're done that way. So why not communicate what you want? Because you would want to do, if you didn't know you were doing something that was bugging somebody, wouldn't you want somebody to nicely mention it to you without judgment, with very, hey, just so you know, you did a great job on this project here, but there are a couple of things with the formatting, or we really would like a pie chart here. So good job on what you did. The thing that's going to get it to where we like this project. And I'm thinking, notice how it could be not a personal attack on somebody, but you could be a good co-worker, somebody co-working in the house, to say, okay, just so you know, the break room when we leave the break room at work, we make sure that everybody is responsible for cleaning out their own mug on a daily basis. Or the rules of the break room at work are we do not leave any dirty dishes in the sink. As soon as you're done with something, you clean it off and you put it back up on the shelf, or you bring it to your own desk. You know? Yeah. Now I get this, Laura says, I just have a hard time asking them to do cleaning tasks because I'm retired and have the time, and they are both working and earning master's degrees. Okay, I understand that they don't have the time and you do have the time. I love it. Lady Bandit 78 says, I'm having to train my boss on this very thing. He is not a good communicator. Now, what I want to offer to you, Laura, is thinking about time, because time and money, such fascinating topics in decluttering. The next time you scrub a dish, do this. You can do some time trials. I used to have to time people at my corporate job. One of the things I did not like because of the way they set it up, but there's value in knowing how long does it take for you to, if there, I'm sure there's a specific dish. Is it like the plasticware or the plates or the bowls or the glasses? There's something that you're thinking of that you say you did not clean this thing to my specifications. So therefore I do all the dishes. I would, next time you are doing the dishes, start to get some information. Clean it to the level that they would have stopped at and said, good enough. And notice how long it took you to get there. Maybe just glance at your watch. Then measure the time between where they would have stopped and where you kept on going until your feeling of doing good. Because really what you're talking about with them not having the time is that tiny fraction of time between where they would have ended and where you would have ended. Not the whole thing, but notice that it really could be a fraction of the time. And I will offer this. I'm not above, and I'm not a parent, but I will offer that you could also say lovingly, please, okay, when you live in your own house, you can still leave stuff on your dishes. But when you live in my house, and again, notice I'm just trying to be very diplomatic. When you live here, our dishes, my dishes, it is a requirement for you to get it to this level of clean. Because the other thing, Laura, is too, I would not know chatting with you right now that you were retired at all. You're always sounding busy. You've got your music stuff going on, your coaching stuff, you're doing things. So your time is as valuable as theirs. What you're doing in your life is as important as theirs. So just notice this. What would you do in a work environment? What if it was, now if it's their mug, like my husband's mug, he has how I have mine. These are kind of mine and he has his. I'm always getting the the tannins. Like I use a little Mr. What is it, magic eraser in there, and I scrub it away. My husband uses this giant blue mug, so it doesn't show like the stains from the tea bags as easily. Oh, that's weird. My clock is off. Sorry. However, he doesn't mind the way it looks inside his dish, so I don't care about that. But the other dishes, I care about it. Again, if you don't know what you know what you want. You know what you want. You want your plates to look like this, your glasses to be cleaned like this, the plates to be put away like this. You know a lot more of what you want than you're afraid to admit. Even just starting with writing it down to yourself. Where are the places where there are things you want and it's not there yet? Now, I'm saying this, I'm talking a lot about Laura in the dishes, but anybody here, you know what you want, you're just not there yet. And do you have to always be the person to get it there? Or are there other people that can contribute for this? What is that old saying? I feel like I'm thinking of the one going like out to one of those little roadside stands like in Lancaster, PA. And you go past the little tacky gift shops with like the trivets with the sayings. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Don't build up resentment. Be like, oh, I have to do these dishes because they don't do them good enough. Well, did you let them off the hook? Did you say that where they stopped was good enough? So if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. It's going to pop out. If you feel good about it, if you are truly feeling good about doing the dishes and loving how they look and not minding 100% how your kids have done the dishes, you wouldn't have mentioned it. This was really interesting. I'll just share kind of a tangential point. I was doing one-on-one coaching this morning with a client, and it's just interesting where the wires can get crossed in our brains. Because she was saying, oh, I said, what's the thing that's bugging you in that room? And she said, well, it's the trash. Immediately she was like, it's the trash. And I said, okay. She's like, yeah, but it's not a big deal. It's not, there are so many more important things. And I said, there may be, but the trash was the number one thing out of your mouth. It wouldn't have come out of your mouth if it truly wasn't important. You wouldn't have said it was important. Now I want to get to this one because I think this is really interesting. Narelle says, in my life, I have not often gotten what I want. Okay. I love the little play in your words there. It's not declarative. I have never gotten what I want. Narelle, what I would do if I were you is write down the times you have gotten to where you want. When have you gotten what you want? When have you gotten what you want? Start looking at that and then notice how you got there. Road trip. When did you get what you wanted? I am so good at getting what I want nowadays. I wish I had spent my teens and 20s and 30s and 40s. I wish I had this wisdom then. That's why I share it with you. Okay. Kelly Smith YouTube hasn't been sending me notifications. Okay. Two things. One is, I got to watch the clock over here. It's 12:34. We have 26 minutes together, hon. You need me, I'm here for you. You write in the comments what you need my help with. The first half hour doesn't matter. But what I would offer is, Kelly, is I would double check to see if you are set up to get notifications. But also, if YouTube notifications are unreliable, where can you better rely on things? And I'm just going to say, I am pretty goddamn reliable. And this is what I'm doing. This is so funny. I was Googling places in Palm Springs, a unique, serene retreat. Who the fuck does not want a unique, serene retreat? Talk about keywords. But here, I am going to the secret page And Wednesday, April 30th, YouTube Live, 12 noon. So notice that there are other places, there are other things you can do. If certain things become unreliable, what can you rely on? You know? But let's get back to getting what you want. Again, I look up here and I have for the purse that's 2025, 2024. When was it? Friday, January 27th, 2023. I wrote down, what do I want to happen? And I underlined the I, and I put a question mark, and I put a smiley face. I'm all about the smiley faces. Okay. What do I want to happen? And sometimes I just say, what do I want? Because that's, it's like going to the grocery store and looking at the produce department. What fruit do I want? Do I want grapes or do I want strawberries? Maybe I want them both. Getting in the habit of answering your own question of what do I want? So you know what you're aiming for. Okay? And all of you, I don't care who you are, I am pretty sure that your brain is lying to you if you ever said you never, ever, ever. It's like a little kid. I never get what I want. Wah. Your backseat driver is a toddler. You know that, right? Even though, Christine, your toddlers are wearing little pleather jackets and smoking little candy cigarettes. They're trying to be grown-ups, but your backseat driver is a scared little kid that's only a toddler. So that's where they stop. You always get what you want. I never get what I want. This never works out. I've tried that before and it didn't work. So I'm not even ever going to try it again. I mean, think of your love them. And you people who have had kids, I know kids can be aggravating, but I know there are times when you were dealing with your petulant little kids who were just trying to grow and you loved them even when they were being like that. Like you got what they were going through. It's the same thing with your backseat driver. When you start talking in declaratives, in all or nothing, I hate doing the dishes. It's like that's your backseat driver. You know they are speaking when you sound like a drama queen. Now, sometimes the drama can be justified in a way. I am so frustrated with you because you did not listen. Notice I almost said never listen to me. You did not listen to me when I said the following. I'm very specific. So how can we prevent this frustration again? Because I love you and I don't want to be frustrated with you. But if you look for the times that you didn't get what you want, there'll be a list. There will be a list. You don't always get what you want. But in the immortal words of Joe Jackson that just put in my head, you can't get what you want till you know what you want, right? You can't get what you want until you know what you want. Yeah. And you can play games to make it easier. Putting stuff away at your house, think of it as an Airbnb that everyone needs to put things back from where they came from. Yeah, if it was somebody else's house, would you do that? Okay, so Narelle is getting specific. I love specifics because at least then I don't have to talk in generalities. I can get more specific. So Narelle says, today I am feeling the disappointment of missing out again, and I'm being lovingly comical, on a work role I've wanted because I didn't see the notice for it and missed the deadline. So this is really interesting because this is very similar to what Kelly Smith was saying. YouTube hasn't been sending me the notifications. So I would get curious. Where was the notice posted? If you really want this work role, why are you not every freaking day checking the bulletin board? Why are you not even saying to the person, Don't even post it on the bulletin board. If that position is available, you let me know because I want that position so bad, you know? Okay, so Narelle, I love this because I can sense from the thousands of miles that separate us, even though there's thousands of miles that separate us, my internal vibrations are picking up your internal vibrations by the choice of words you have. And I will read what she said. Bro, I've wanted that job longer than the person who got it has been in the job. I'm wondering, check out this phrase, I'm wondering how I messed up my life so badly. Now, my dear, take a few deep breaths and realize that as classic backseat driver, you didn't mess up your life so badly. You didn't. You didn't. It's just a job you wanted and you missed. So if you truly wanted it, I don't want to be like, if you want, but why were you not? There are things you could have done. You did some things that caused you to not get that job. Learn from it, you guys. Learn from when things do not work out the way you want. Okay, it was posted on a messy database. I was off work for 3 months and had to catch up while getting actual work done. Okay, I 100% get that. I will give, okay, you know, yay, hey, Heather MC is popping up. I'll just say, hey, real quick. Thanks, Beth. Been tackling like a linebacker, tackling a pile of paperwork as you speak. So good to have your support and everyone else here too. And Darrell, I am saying all this to you. So yay, Heather MC. And Darrell, learn from what happened this time so it doesn't happen again. You guys, we are living through a point in history, at least in the US, and everybody else is watching us going, holy mother of God, what's going on? Of not learning from the past and we're repeating it. So if it was posted on a messy database, I imagine that being like a messy corkboard at our coffee shop. Okay. Even if the database is messy, is it posted? Where are the jobs posted? If that job is posted again or one similar to it, maybe even a better one, maybe you're not getting this job because there's something better in the future for you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You work from home. You're not in regular contact with colleagues. I get that. If you think that being in regular contact with colleagues would increase the likelihood of you getting the job you want or a job you want better than the one you do not, how can you get in regular contact with colleagues? How did the person who got the job get it? What did they do differently from you? Now, I get your disappointment. I get it. But what I will say is, if you are wallowing, allow yourself to feel the feeling temporarily, but you are wallowing and telling yourself a story. And I don't want to say making up excuses, but your brain is offering you clues as to how you did not get the job. And those clues are so you make a better roadmap to the plan, to the job that you want the next time. Don't get judgy. Look at how judgy you are. I've messed up my life so badly. It was messy, like all that stuff. Feel the feels. And then after you've calmed down your nervous system, pardon me, my nose is wicked itchy. Then, and I got to keep an eye on the time, what could you have done with these things? Seriously, screenshot what you have written here because this is good stuff. Articulating to yourself by writing down, and she's writing it down by typing. What could you have done differently in each one of those scenarios that would have increased the likelihood that you would get that job? I think of this in a couple ways. What I think of, and I want to offer this seriously to Narelle and everybody. When my husband and I were looking for houses, there was a house that we really thought we wanted. It was mid-century modern. It was really cool, but it was above our price line. And we did everything we thought of to get it, even something we didn't realize we were supposed to do, which was to call somebody. We had never bought a house before. Why I'm offering this story to you in the midst of trying to help you figure out that maybe that job wasn't the one for you. If we had gotten that job, or excuse me, that house, I would not be in this house. In this house, in this neighborhood, in this town, in this area is so much better for us than that one house that we thought we wanted so badly. So think of it. Maybe there's a better one. Yeah. And I love it. Christine is offering breathe, relax your shoulders. And anytime those negative thoughts come up, you'll be eventually guided to what's best. Yeah. Notice breathing down and slowing down. When you do this, you can think more clearly. You can get into curiosity mode as opposed to judgment mode. Judgment comes from emotion. When you feel the emotion, allow yourself to feel the disappointment. And then say to yourself, I don't want to feel that disappointed because I see opportunities where I could have increased the likelihood of me getting the job, but none of it is 100%. I will offer to you from my own personal experience that I get it. I work for things that I never get, but I can look back at that and say I did everything I could think of to increase the likelihood that I would get what I wanted. So I feel okay. The rest of it is not up to me, it's up to the universe. As I said, we tried really hard to get that little mid-century place. And now every time we drive past that neighborhood, we are so grateful we didn't get it because we are in such a better place now that we never would have been able to get had we gotten what we thought we wanted back in the day. Okay? So I offer to you, Narelle, you wrote down these things, these clues from your brain that are showing you what you might have been able to do differently. It's up to you whether you do it differently the next time. How often you check the messy board. How you may be able to, if you think it benefits you to get in contact with people, maybe you get out of your stretch your comfort zone. Seriously, I did it when I was in Palm Springs. I went to a party and I knew nobody. No, I knew one person who I had met for about 10 minutes. And then he invited me to a party. Was I stretching my comfort zone? You know? Yeah. But I knew that if I wanted to go back to Palm Springs, it would increase the likelihood of me finding a place to live there if I met more people who lived there who also knew that I wanted to go back there. No lie. Some guy was like, oh, you take care of cats? We have a cat. We have a house here. What's your number? He literally handed me my phone. He handed me his phone to put in my number to be a cat sitter from, thousands of miles away. So learn from this instance. If you want to feel like this again, Narelle, do exactly don't change a thing. Don't change a thing. But if you want to feel different, do something different. Do something different the next time. Okay? And Sherry Hooper, excuse me, I said Hopper. My mom tells me to visit the emotions, but don't live there. Yeah, you can visit. They can visit you, but they don't stay there. They come to your door and you can be like, okay, we can chat here at the front door, but I'm not letting you in because then you'll become a squatter. I think of the emotions, frankly, in the road trip metaphor of driving down the road of life. And sometimes unexpectedly, a rain squall will come. The dark clouds, and all of a sudden you're driving this way and the clouds with the rain are going this way, and you temporarily are going to feel the feels. The rain is coming down, the tears are coming down. You're throwing up, you're awful, you're feeling disappointed, you're feeling down. But that is a rain squall. It is not going to rain for forever because it's moving this way and you're moving that way. Yeah. Okay. So, Narelle, I love this. And again, I love that you are sharing the specifics in the comments. And I highly recommend that you also, because we are here for about another 10 minutes, and then I have to switch gears and do some coaching. And then I got a whole day, got some good stuff going on. Seriously, screenshot what you wrote here because there is such good info here. It was a case of putting your hand for a representative role. If two people wanted, it goes to a vote. 6 years ago, I can't even do the math when 6 years ago was. I lost by one vote. So I'm wondering why my colleagues don't like and respect me. My colleagues don't like and respect me. Notice my air quotes. If that doesn't sound like a scared little drama queen in the back seat, and I say that with love. But notice, I am afraid. Yeah, I am afraid. Your backseat driver is afraid. I am afraid my colleagues don't like or respect me. Yeah, maybe that's not the case. Even 6 years ago, it wasn't all your colleagues. It was one vote. And that was 6 years ago. Now I offer, allow yourself to feel temporarily hurt, but man, your brain is giving you words to share with me that I'm pointing out to you. And I share this with everybody. The words that you write down, there's something to them. Get them out of your head, down onto paper, down into the chat. This is how you learn from yourself. Yourself is telling you. So yes, allow the disappointment, but then replace it with curiosity. Once the disappointment is past, because staying in disappointment does not get you what you want, and it could taint the opportunity for you to get it in the future because you're moping around like a glum chum. Now, I'm making that up. I don't know if you're moping around, but I used to mope around. It definitely did not help get what I want. Now I am doing everything I can to get what I want. Not everything I can. Again, everything, nothing. That's a little bit too. I am doing everything my brain that offers to get what I want. Even in the short time I've been on this YouTube live, I have decided a neighborhood I want to rent a house for next February 2026 in Palm Springs, California. I have Googled that neighborhood. I have seen if there's any rentals. I have signed up to be alerted when those might become available. I may even do some Nancy Drewing, and I may find out if there's a way I can contact the people to say, I am definitely interested. That you may not have your calendar done between now and March of 2026, but I want to let you know that if there is an availability in February of 2026 for your place, I want it. And I'm willing to pay whatever money it is to stay there because that's what I want. So allow yourself to feel your feelings, but learn from them. Yeah. Yeah. And so Narelle, there's a lot of stuff there. I'm worried. Again, worry is just another word for fear that my colleagues will see me as bitter and angry. Okay. So get out of bitter and angry and get into curiosity. Is there a boss you could talk to say, hey, well, first of all, you didn't even apply for the job, right? Am I missing something? You didn't even apply for it. So I was going to say you could go to somebody and ask them, hey, I'm just curious, what could I have done differently to get that job? But you didn't even apply for it. Yes. And Christine says, practice all the downs. When you calm down your nervous system, your physical brain and the magic within will switch from being, emotional to, I don't say rational, but problem solving the problem. Think of it as a math problem. You want to get from here to the answer? If you're like, I can't do this, math sucks, I'm horrible at this, I never learned how to do this, this is awful, I'm so crappy at math, blah, 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 blah. You're never even going to try to do your long division. But if you try, you might remember a little bit of it and you can ask for help, you know? So, what could you do different next time? And write that down. Because what you could do differently next time will also open up your eyes to a job that you may be even better for you. This is one of the things I wrote down from a friend, or better. No, and you're not too stupid. I'm going to call you on your judginess, because judginess is your backseat driver. I know, too stupid to even apply. No, stupid has nothing to do with it. Distracted by different things, not focused on every day I'm going to look to see if there's an availability. Let me share another example, okay? This is how it works. Next week, a week from today, what day is today? Is today Thursday? Wednesday? I don't know, Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I will be traveling again. This Palm Springs trip, and this is why I use the road trip and travel metaphor all the time, because it's what I live. We are going to New Mexico for 4 or 5 days for our wedding anniversary. When I went to book the room that I wanted, book a room at the hotel that I wanted to stay at for 2 days, I had looked at them earlier and I knew that there was a suite with a king-size bed in it. That's what I wanted. Okay. But when I went back to get it, it was gone. Somebody else got the room. I didn't just say, oh, well, somebody else got it. What I did was I got curious. What could I do to increase the likelihood? And I said, if those people don't know I want it, they will never get in touch with me. So I emailed the place and I said, hey, I am curious. I know it's February. We won't be there till May. But do you guys ever have a waiting list if somebody changes their mind and decides they don't like it? Maybe the person who got that job, Narelle, decides once they're in it, they don't want it and they quit or they demote themselves. It could happen. The people at the hotel said, no, we don't really need a list, but they told me what I could do. They said, but you can check in occasionally to see if it becomes available. Now, to me, if somebody rented it, probably likely that they're, but what I did was I would check in occasionally. And many times it was a nope, 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 nope. Until one day when I was checking that bulletin board, when I was checking that messy database for that one specific thing that I was looking for, lo and behold, not just lo, but lo and behold, the suite with the king-size bed showed up. I am telling you, I did not pause. I got on the horn like Mary Baker Eddy, and I said, oh my God, I see that king-size room is available. We want it. Can you switch us from the 2 queen-size beds to the king? Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, no problem. Boom, you're done. Okay? Get out of pity. Get out of the emotional and get into curiosity and action. That, my dear, is how you get what you want. And even if I checked every day and it didn't happen, at least I know I did something to get what I wanted. Okay? Cheryl Siegel's sending you a hug. We are all sending you good vibes. I say this as, I guess, a little bit of tough love, but I am sharing it from you, who's somebody who used to be like that. Oh my God. And it was barely 10 years ago. I have learned this skill from age 50 whatever to 50 whatever. It has game changed my life. So I share this with you. Okay. And everybody else who's kind of on the sidelines, look at how what she and I are talking about would apply to your life. Figure out what you want, get curious, and just try all the little things. Yeah. Okay. There we go. If you check daily, something else might pop up and it may be something better. Okay. So I will give you a heads up. You guys, I got to end this stream like now, but Narelle, Screenshot, go through here, do a screenshot of all the stuff you wrote down and learn from it to do something different in the future. And this future starts as soon as I sign off from this. What could you do differently? Calm down your nervous system, learn from what happened. And if you don't want to, and yeah, if it's 3 a.m. where you are, oh, honey bunch, go to bed. The emotions love anytime after midnight. So get to bed. And when you wake up, everybody's support from here and what I said will be there, and screenshot these things to learn from them. Okay. Now, I'm leaving, but tomorrow I'm going to be back. YouTube Live, 9 a.m. Eastern. It has been great to be back at home. I hope this helped. I offer this in the spirit of love and knowing that you deserve to get what you want or better. Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? See you tomorrow. Bye.